How's everybody doing today? Can I motivate you today? Mike Motivation Podcast. Thank you for everybody who has been watching. I appreciate the love, appreciate the support, appreciate you for understanding that I'm trying to give back insight to anybody who wants to listen. I'm just a guy that's from Southwest Little Rock who had to carve out and figure out through all the growing pains and chaos of life how to get to these certain points. And then when I got to those points, I always told myself if I could find a way to give this information back, because sometimes not knowing what the next steps are can be a daunting task and make a person not want to make that next move because it's the unknown. And I've learned through life that it's the unknown that makes you better, learning the unknown to get to the next unknown. And then when you really think about it logically, what you know sometimes is not better than what's unknown. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I always looked at it, if it's going to make me better, if it's going to give me a different kind of insight and give me a stronger logical sense of what's going on, I have to at least try to take on that opportunity. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Being aware and taking advantage of opportunities. So before we get started, though, let's start a community of logical thinkers, people that want to be positive and learn from situations. It's okay to laugh, but you also want to learn from situations. Learn how to be better. So when your opportunity comes, you can handle it with more intelligence and grace because you learn from other people's situations and things that went on in life that fly across the news. Make sure to watch the Thinking Game podcast. Make sure to watch Mike Motivation podcast, CTM, Corp Tech Media, Corporate Technology Media. I work in both corporate and technology and making media content around it. And we just making content for regular people. We're not celebrities. We're everyday working people. And we from the inner city. Most people I talk to, we grew up in the inner city. Went to McClellan 2001. Shout out to McClellan. Shout out to Southwest. And I want to let the youth know that if you make the right decisions, be aware, take advantage of opportunities, you can be set yourself up for greatness, great situations, but you got to be aware, self-aware, and understand that you can set yourself up or set yourself back. Let's get into it. Opportunities, understanding and taking advantage. Good opportunities, legal opportunities, understanding and taking advantage. When you graduate high school, there's an opportunity there. You can either just go work, you can go the education route, secondary education, vocation, anything like that, or you can do both. You can make a hybrid opportunity. You can work and develop yourself at the same time. But there is an opportunity there, but you have to be aware that you're faced with an opportunity. Sometimes in life, it don't seem like opportunity is in front of you, but it really is. It's just all about the choices and decisions that you make. So, the definition of opportunity is a set of circumstances that make it possible to do something. A set of circumstances that make it possible to do something. There are a lot of circumstances around opportunity. Sometimes it can be negative circumstances, sometimes it can be positive circumstances. But there are a set of circumstances that make it possible. Most people that get into the wrong opportunities, the set of circumstances, inner city, can't find a job that's comparable of trying to live a comparable lifestyle, negativity, surrounded by negativity, and the things that they see based on circumstances. You see the dope boys, you see other people making illegitimate money, and they have all the lifestyle that you think, because you're young, you think you want. You know, you want the gold Dayton's. I've been there. You want the nice cars. A lot of times you don't even care about the house when you're young. You really just want the car. Because when you think about it, a lot of dudes be in their car most of the time. You rarely see dudes in their house. You usually see them in their car. So that's why, in my opinion, I think in the inner city, cars seem like it has more value than a house, because most people are riding around in their cars, whether they're going to work or doing whatever they do. But opportunity, a set of circumstances that make it possible to do something. We have to realize this. I had to learn this growing up. When you see opportunities, you either gonna say yes or no, and you think about it before you do it. The commitment of what it takes. We're gonna get into some of that here right now. So, being aware of opportunities, career advancement. When you work at a job, is this job a career or is it just a job? You have to think about that. You have to factor these things in. Adult life, in my opinion, is constantly thinking and analyzing. Sometimes I can be looking at something, but I'm not looking at it. I'm sitting there thinking and analyzing. And sometimes they could throw a lot of people off, and I get it, because everybody don't do that. And what I will say is the adult life, the more that you can think about something and analyze it, the better off you'll probably make a better decision. But you have to think, what is this gonna how is this gonna help me? What situation is this gonna put me in? And can I meet the standard of what this opportunity is? We gotta think about that. Another awareness of opportunity situation is education advancement. Do I want to go to college? What's the commitment? Is this degree that I'm selecting? Is this something that gives me value in the job market? Am I ready for the challenge of college, doing homework, having a lot of free time in between classes? It's not like high school where you're kind of in one place for 8 hours. College is a little different, a little bit more space to move around, a little bit more freedom. Am I ready for that? I go to a vocation or apprenticeship. Am I aware of what an apprenticeship is? Am I aware of the commitment? Am I aware that if I'm given opportunity, I'm going to finish the path? It's not going to be easy. I have to be aware that they probably going to say some things I don't want to hear. I have to be aware of that. I have to be aware of, no matter what I face, I'm not here to have fun and games. I'm here to advance myself and put myself in position to be able to get to more opportunities, to provide, to be a solid individual, and to have the resources to do leisure things as I get older and have a family. But you have to be aware of those things. Think about the commitment that it's going to take. So, with that being said, another one, to be given an opportunity. When you get past the ego, you get past, you think you're grand, you think you're great, You have to realize that sometimes people give you an opportunity. Now, the first point of this is being in position to be given an opportunity. Are you in position? Are you presentable to be given an opportunity? Are you in position? Like, are you stable enough to take on the opportunity? What do I mean by stable enough? When I was younger, when it was just me before I got married, that's why I really stress the kids when you're younger. If you can keep yourself disciplined, under control, and prevent yourself from having kids before marriage and not mess with people that's unstable, you can be in position to take on opportunities when you're younger because you don't have those little things that can make it hard to take on positions that can give you greater opportunities because of the commitment that's involved. So, if a guy, you have kids by multiple women, I'm not judging. I'm just telling you this is how you can be out of position. Seen it happen many times. A position or opportunity comes up and you cannot take advantage of it. Why? Because of the situations that you have put yourself in or myself in. I can't take on this opportunity because I have to watch the kids because we can't afford daycare right now. You out of position. I can't take on that opportunity right now because if I switch jobs, it's gonna change or something. I'm not gonna be able to do something because of the hurdles that's in front of me. Committing or accidental crimes, right? Having a felony on your record can put you out of position. That's why when you're younger, you have to avoid trouble, avoid the legal system as much as you can because you don't want to be out of position when you become an adult and you cannot walk it through that door because you don't have the keys to open that door. So avoid things that can put you out of position because it can happen. You have to think about what you're doing before you do it. Don't just do it and react later. We have to get to the point where we think before you do it. Understanding the process. There is a process, there's a setup that you need to do before you are given an opportunity. I didn't understand this when I was young. I had to really work on this. There's a process. And if you can master the process before you even get to the opportunity, that'll make you so far ahead than you thought you could be. First thing, being presentable. Do you have to have a suit? You don't have to have a suit, but you can have a button down shirt. I didn't have button down shirts when I was young. I used to just wear polo shirts and t-shirts, just crazy stuff. And a lot of times I was out of position because I didn't understand the process of having clothes that are business casual, more by stuff. You know what I'm saying? So understanding the process of being prepared for an interview, being able to communicate with somebody that's not you, that don't look like you, don't talk like you. How do you communicate? How do you make yourself ready for an interview? Let me know in the comments if anything I'm saying maybe sound off or you would like to hear me more talk about. Let me know in the comments. I would love to make videos just talking about the little detail stuff like being ready for interviews and stuff like that. Make sure to hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Make sure to subscribe to Mike Motivation. Go over to CTM TV on YouTube. Subscribe to there too. See, hit the subscribe button. Let's see. Boop, hit that button. So, understanding the process to be given an opportunity, the process to be prepared, the process to be presentable, and the process of being ready, being on time, being able to go in and excel at what you're doing. Sometimes you may have to do some extra studying or extra practice or reps outside of your job or the work. Sometimes it takes that if you want to be great. But understanding the process. The next part about to be given an opportunity is somebody vouching for you or having connections. This is very important, whether it's your family, whether it's somebody you know, somebody putting their name on the line for you. Do you understand the weight of that? And I'm going to say to the young person, I have to apologize because there were some people who put their name out there for me and I messed up more than a few times I've done it. And I have to apologize to them for that, for putting their name out there. I didn't realize when I was younger. Probably when I got old, I started realizing the weight of somebody putting their name on the line for you to get an opportunity or some kind of job position. And you go in there and for some reason you don't perform, you get let go. That hurts that person's name because they vouch for you. Then understanding that if the person that vouched for you sees that you're not ready based on presentation and based on your action or characteristics or things that you present, they're not going to vouch for you. You have to understand that too. You're not ready yet. You're not showing them that you're ready. And you can't get mad. You should be able to have enough of a humbleness to say, how do I be prepared for the opportunity? A lot of times people won't do that. They'll just get mad and say, they didn't want to do nothing. They didn't want to help me, but they never looked at the other side. What does that person see? So you got to understand if somebody put their name on the line for you, that means something. It means a lot, actually, especially if that person been there for a while and they have a great reputation and they try to bring you in. Then you get in there. I don't know if I like this. You just quit. You don't even talk to the person. You just quit. That says a lot more than what you think. It says a lot. The power of having connections. So, do you have to have connections? No, you don't. But do it help to have connections? Yes, it do. First of all, the greatest connection is God. That's the greatest connection. Everything else is secondary after that. However, there are connections, right? Whether through organizations, whether through groups. What connections do is give you that exposure in different areas without having to actually be physically present, right? When you are known by people and somebody can say, I need this done. Hey, do you know that Mike do this, or do you know that so and so do this? I've seen it happen in real life. Looking for somebody to be in a position or executive position, and because the two guys knew each other, they went to college together, kept their relationship or their connection going on. Hey, I know so and so. He'll be great for this position. Y'all should check him out, and it can happen just like that. You're gonna find out when you get into the corporate world that a lot of things are not as random as you think they are. You just have to be ready for the opportunity. But as far as the connections and people vouching for you, you'd be surprised how much this happens in the corporate world. More than what you think. But you just have to be ready for that opportunity. Say taking advantage of opportunities. being able to take advantage, being prepared and ready. So when I worked at, I think I got my first little tech job, ISP job, working with switches and routers and stuff. I was going to school. I think I was in my last semester. Just got married, working at the airport. Shout out to my wife. This is before we had kids. Love you, Ashley. Love you. When she met me, she came over to the house. I think this is when my roommates moved out, and it was just me. I was paying the bills and stuff. She walked. I had this room that one of my roommates was in. This room I had, it's like a little lab. I had like routers and switches on racks and stuff. And she was like, "What is that?" And I like, "Yeah, this is the future. This is my future that I'm being prepared for." What am I saying? I was preparing myself for the job before I even got the job. I had routers and switches, the stuff we learned at school, I was doing at home. So when I go to school and do these labs and tests, I could just do it, be done. When I got the job at the ISP place, you just worked at a computer. There was no rack by your desk. The data center was in the back somewhere. All you had to do was know how to log into it with software and stuff like that, terminal software. That's what we call it in IT. But you had to be prepared. Number one, how to use a computer, how to log into a router and switch, how to put in, what commands to know to get it to do what you want it to do. Pretty much, switch commands or router commands. Then you learn other stuff and being prepared to learn stuff that you don't know without an instruction manual. Um, Figuring it out how to do it, learning how to use a modem, learning how to talk to a tech that's in Nebraska somewhere, having him hook up to some switch in a cornfield and being able to bring that switch up online. But I had to be prepared to learn something that I didn't know. I had to have the foundation of networking before I could do that job. And when I interviewed with him, I had to give him the confidence that even though I may not know everything, but I got the foundation down. All you had to do is show me the process of how this ISP place do it, and I'll take it from there. But you got to be prepared and ready. And sometimes you have a lot of stuff going on in life. You may have marriage, you may have kids, but I'm telling you, as a husband and as a man, you have to be prepared and ready for opportunities, even before they come. Mentally, physically, health. Are you healthy enough to take on the opportunity? Or will it stress you out to the point where you can't do it? You have to think about those things. Second point, having the winning mindset. Understand that nothing is going to stop you from being great. I just need the opportunity. I always tell people in interviews, I can be on a team, and then if things break down, something happen, I can be like Rambo. You can drop me off in the middle of the jungle, and I promise you, I will find my way home. I'll find my way out. May not be pretty, may not be the best, I guess, practice or whatever, but I promise you it'll get done. I tell them that in the interview. I look at them in the eyes and tell them that I can work on a team, or if I have to be Rambo and get there and get finished, that's gonna happen too. Either or, whichever one you want. Because a lot of times when you work for companies, things change so fast. You can be hired on to a team that's great, and then next thing you know, the people that were great at helping, great in the team game, they got recruited to another department. And now it's just you. And you got to make it happen. That happens in IT. It happens more than what you think. But what I would say is have the winning mindset. Racial relations, right? having a boss that's not pleasurable to work with, whether race, different race, or your own race, micromanagers, bosses who are disrespectful in communication. They talk, they vulgarity. They love chaos. They love the tension of debating and arguing. There's different kind of, but when you have the winning mindset, you can counter all of those things. You just have to sit back and think. It's a chess game. How do I counter this? So what? They talk in vulgar language. I'm not doing that. But I'm still going to talk with intelligence, and I'm still going to navigate it with the winning mindset. So being able to take advantage of opportunities, being prepared and ready, having that winning mindset. You develop that winning mindset, it won't be nothing you cannot conquer. I promise you. But the winning mindset is saying it doesn't matter what the situation or circumstances are. I'm going to remain positive, and I'm going to win with positivity, humbleness, grace, and discernment. I'm going to win. I don't have to step on nobody. I don't have to put a knife in nobody's back. I'm going to win in the ways that are positive. And guess what? Sometimes it may take a little longer, but that's fine because when you do it in a positive way, you don't feel like, you know, you got bones in the closet. You don't feel like, you know, you got people that's going to hunt you behind it because you didn't do those negative things. But keep the winning mindset, develop it, maintain it, and keep the winning mindset. Not being ready for opportunity. This happens a lot. I've been there. Personally, I've been there, not being ready for opportunities. And it made me sharpen my mind. I stay sharpening my mind. I stay looking at things in tech, things in making content. I stay sharpening my mind. I've almost stopped looking at certain stuff or things that I think is negative or videos that I just don't too much care for. It seems like as I'm getting older, everything it has to make sense. I'm probably not gonna deal with it or entertain it. That's just how I am. That's how I've programmed myself over the years, and it has helped me to keep the negativity as minimized as I can. Because when you grow up in the inner city, a lot of times you're drawn to it. You find entertainment in it. I know I can find the funny in it. But as I'm getting older, I'm finding myself. The only time I think I deal with negativity, I'm trying to learn something or trying to understand something to learn from it, but not just take it on like constantly because when you take on negativity, your mind can go to that place and it's nothing worse than going down that negative tunnel and you don't know when you're going to get out of it. And what I would say is, before I get into this, there are some things that I've taught myself over time that I don't even allow my mind to even go there. It takes some time to do that. It's an art to it. However, God has given me some kind of program that I just won't allow. I can see myself going to a place and I can stop myself internally, see myself going to a place and it don't stress me out. Sometimes it's better to just not go there, keep the peace inside of you, stay silent, than to go there and then now it's in a chaos situation that could have been prevented if you would have just kept the inner peace, the humbleness, the love, and the patience. That's my nugget right there. Now, not being ready for opportunity. Understand that the field that you're in. If you don't understand the field that you're in, you're not going to be ready. Like I say, if you want to go in, people say college not for everybody. Okay, what you going to do? You want to go into a vocation? Do you understand the field that you're in? You want to be a plumber? Do you understand the plumbing field? Do you want to be an electrician? Do you understand being an electrician? You want to be pro-black? Do you understand the journey of a person that's pro-black that wants to take that Pepsi challenge of being pro-black? Do you understand that? The taste of that, the ups and downs of that. Do you understand that? If you do, but what I would tell you is understand it so when you do it and you feel the pros and the cons, you can understand it won't be much complaining because I understood what I was getting into before I got into it. Because it's too much data out there now, too much information for you to go in something blindly and not understand what you're getting into. And I would dare somebody to say in the comments that it's not because it's crazy. It's too much information out there now. Too much. Not sharpening your skill set. The minute that you stop sharpening your skill set is the minute you make yourself not ready for opportunities that come your way. You get comfortable, you get complacent. You don't have to do what everybody else do, but there is something for you to maintain sharpening, maintain the skill set. Just like a knife, you have to sharpen the knife. It doesn't stay sharp on its own. You have to sharpen it, or it will get dull over time. Every time you use it. Same thing with skill set. You have to keep your skill set sharpened. And with the thing about opportunity sometimes is you get into some jobs or positions, you get to learn skill sets without actually having to do it if you're aware of what's going on around you. I can't tell you how many times dealt with executives. I saw them do things, how they did things, and it made me think if they can do that, why I can't do that? If I get prepared, get my education, get in position and thrive at it, understand the field that I'm in, why I can't do that? But when you in the inner city, you don't have that kind of exposure. You don't see those things and it don't even cross your mind because you're just trying to survive living in the inner city. But when you get into opportunities and you get to see more, take in more information other than what you're used to doing, for me, it opened my mind up even more to things that I could be doing or I could be getting myself prepared for based on the information that I saw. Because a lot of people in the inner city, whether we want to agree with it or not, a lot of people in the inner city don't have in close proximity. Close proximity, that means like in your circle, somebody that's at that level because when most people get successful, they move out of the inner city. And some of it's understandable because when you are successful, you want to do certain things. Those certain things can bring attention to you in the inner city. You want to move out the jungle before you start acquiring those things because one thing is in the inner city, people be watching. You think they don't, but they really do. And they see the come up. They see it. But you have to be careful about how you display the come up. Shouldn't have to be like that, but you have to be like that. It's just real. And you got to be careful about what you putting on social media because the streets is watching. And I hope the streets watch this and be prepared for your opportunities, not illegal opportunities, but legal opportunities that lead to greater opportunities. But if you don't sharpen your skill set, you would not be ready for future opportunities. Matter of fact, you would just say, I'm good, I'm comfortable where I'm at. But I'm telling you that as we get older, the years start to go greater. Cost of living always go up. I've never seen it stay in one place. And I'm 42, just turned 42. I remember when you can go grocery shopping with $100 and have a basket full of groceries. Now, you be lucky if you can get 5 or 6 things and it's $100. Lucky. Even at Dollar General, things are going up. Family Dollar. No matter what, call it something else now. It ain't Family Dollar no more. Things are going up. And it's just the times. And you have to be able to stay prepared and be able to take advantage of opportunities that give you more resources so you can stay competitive. You can have, when you have money where you have resources, it's not living check to check, and you can save or invest and still have money left over to do things with your family. It takes preparation, it takes having a skill set, and it takes being prepared for opportunities when they come. So, with that being said, thanks for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for listening to the content. Please engage. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about the things that I've been saying? Do you like the things that I've been saying? And let's build a community of logical thinkers. Thinking. Not I feel, but I'm thinking. What are you thinking? Hit the like button. Comment. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Mike Motivation. Can I motivate you? Can I get you to think from a different angle? Turn it at a 30% angle. And if I can, keep watching. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to hear me talk about. And I'm signing out.